Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to do a tutorial on a preemie size beanie. I did have a request for this and I did only one size. This size preemie beanie I got from two different size charts kind of combined. I looked at the measurements on Bev's Country Cottage, and I will leave these two sites in the description box below the video. And then there's also one that I looked at. It is called lovetoknow.com. So between those two chart sizes, I did this size baby hat. So if you measure the preemie hats, okay, to get the circumference, what you want to do is you want to measure right around the base, okay? And the easiest way to do that is just to take your tape measure, whoops, and lay it down on one side, and you get your measurement, which is about 3. And instead of trying to wrap your tape measure around it to get the accurate measurement, you just double what you have here. So it's about almost 3.5. So basically 3.5 doubled is going to give you about 7. So this is going to give you about a measurement of 7 inches around the head. Okay, and so if I look between the two websites that I got this measurement from, about a 7.5 is going to fit a preemie baby that's going to be about 2 pounds. So that's going to put them at about 26 to 27 weeks, okay? So that means that also you measure, it gives a measurement of the height of it. And I didn't make it quite as tall. It calls for it to be between 3.5 and 4 inches, and I didn't make it quite as tall as that. I thought it was just a little tall, so I made it just a hair over 3. So I guess that's, you know, it's just everybody's different opinion, and like I said, there are so many charts out there, so I made it just a hair over 3 inches tall. You can make it taller if you like, but this is just an example. So, but I kind of compiled those two charts, and again, I'll leave those two links in the description box. But I wrote down the pattern that I compiled between the two of them. So basically, this is going to give you this size hat. So I'm going to put that aside. And what I did is, and my ball is not very neat because it's a leftover ball, I used the Burnett Baby, and it's a lot thinner yarn. So it is going to be less heavy on a preemie baby rather than, let's say, a Red Heart 4-weight yarn. You see the difference? It's not going to be as heavy. Now, mind you, if you make this hat in a like a Red Heart or a Karen, it is going to measure differently than what I've showed you. And your stitches are going to be different because I don't feel all 4-weight yarns are equal. I think that there's still a big difference in some 4-weight yarns, and that's my personal opinion. So I'm going to show you how to make this little hat. So I started off, and I'm using an H hook, and I'm just using white. So basically what I did is I started off and I chained 4. Okay. And I did this in all single crochet, and then I joined. Okay, and you're going to work over your tail. So then I chained 1, and then I did 5 single crochet into the center ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pulled my tail. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So Then what you did is you joined. You joined into that first stitch, and then for round 2 I chained 1 and then I put 2 single crochet in each stitch, including that first stitch. So 2, 3, and 4. So there's 2 going into each stitch around, so that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you're going to join up into that first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that'll leave you 10 stitches. So now the next row you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to do a single crochet into that first stitch. Let me zoom in a bit here. Okay, and now the next one's going to get 2. Alright, and then you're just going to alternate. So 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, then 2 in the next, 1 in the next, then 2 in the next, 1 in the next, and then 2 in the last. And that should give you a total of 15 for this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So join up in that first stitch. So the next round you'll chain up 1, and you'll do 1 single crochet in that first stitch, 1 in the next stitch, and then 2 in the next. Again, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. Okay, again, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. One in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. And the last time, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the last. Then you'll join, so you should have 20 at this point. And then for the last round of increase, you'll chain up 1, and in that beginning stitch you'll do 1 single crochet, the next one gets 1, and the next one gets 1, and the next one's an increase, so put 2 in that one. Okay, so that's your pattern. So again, you'll do 1, 1, 1, and then 2. 1, 1, 1, and then 2. 1, 1, 1, and then 2. Okay, and the last set, 1, 1, 1, and 2. Okay, and that is all the increasing you're going to do. So join up, and now what you're going to do is simply do single crochet rounds. So chain up 1 and just single crochet in that stitch, and then just start your single crochet rounds. And you're just going to single crochet around, So we'll go all the way around this row. And I did not count exactly how many rows I did, only for the fact it's really not going to be based on how many rounds you did, only because it's going to be based a lot on which yarn you use. If you're using a thicker 4-weight yarn, it's not going to be the same amount of rows. It's going to be based on the height of the hat. Because like I say, the Bernette baby yarn is super thin compared to some of the other yarns. And I think this is actually considered a 3-weight. And I think it's better for preemie hats rather than 4-weight yarn. Myself, that's my own personal opinion. Okay, so join up, chain 1, and go again. So again, I do not have a row count. You just keep going until you come to the correct height of the hat. And that again is actually determined on which chart you are following. Like I said, the ones that I compiled, mine came between 3 and 3.5 inches tall. And you've seen what mine look like. And keep in mind, now they do stretch. So you have to account for stretch in these hats. Okay, so that's basically all you're going to do to finish this up. And you can put little pom-poms on top. I wouldn't do much in terms of adding too much decoration. You don't want them to be extremely heavy for these preemie babies. Their heads are very, very tiny. You don't want to add any more stress to that, which is why I chose the yarn that I chose. Because in my opinion, I think that 4-weight yarn would be really, really heavy. So basically, you're just going to keep going, and you do want to turn this inside out. It works a lot easier once you do get to the point of turning it inside out. So you're just going to go ahead and just keep on going. If you want to make it a bit taller than what mine is, that's fine. And again, all you have to do, if you don't like the charts that I'm going to recommend for you, that's fine too. There are so many charts out there. You just go to Google and type in preemie, either preemie hat charts or head circumference charts. There's so many out there to go by, but there's some differences in the charts too. So, but like I said, the one that I have that I really liked, and I printed it off from LoveToKnow.com. They have a chart that breaks it down by gestation periods. It means, you know, based on week to week as to how old that the baby actually is week to week. If they were born at 25 weeks or 26 weeks or 30 weeks or whatever week they were born, it breaks it down all the way for you. So I really did like that chart. And then Bev's Country Cottage also has an awesome chart to go by. So, you know, there's several different size preemie hats. So again, just keep in mind also that these hats stretch. So you want to allow room for that stretch to happen when you're making these. Okay, so again, you just keep making these little hats for these babies that are in the hospital that are born premature. And the hospitals in all areas, I do know, are always in need of baby hats. And tiny little blankets that don't swallow these little babies up whole. I know I used to run a group myself before I moved here to Iowa. And I'm sure some of you remembered it, where I took donations for not just preemie babies, but even for the elderly and, you know, all different types of sicknesses and ages and different things like that, just to help. And but I do know there's always a need for these type projects. So, and if you're not sure of where to go to find this information out, you can always leave a message underneath this video, and I can do my best to see what I can help you find out. So anyway, you just keep on going with this little hat until you get it the right size. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and this is what it ends up looking like once you get it to the proper length. Okay, so this is your preemie hat that will fit, again, a preemie baby that's around 2 to 2.5 pounds and around 26 to 27 weeks of gestation. Okay, so I will see you guys on the next video, and happy hooking!